couple weeks into this, Tommy into spring ball. What's this first few weeks been like for you?
It's been exciting. Learning curve for sure. New players on the field, learning, a lot of the receivers, running back, kind of just people on the field. It's one thing to throw routes in an indoor versus going out there with a live defense out there because you got to react to them. So it's been exciting and fun, and learning a lot.
How's the chemistry kind of coming along as you're, getting your first work in with the wideouts?
It's gotten better and better every day. Every practice we've been there, every time we go up in the film room, we're communicating, learning from one another, and always trying to improve in that aspect.
What's it like with Barry? It seems like he's real chatty when we're out there and he doesn't stop talking. Is that a good or a bad thing for you as a quarterback?
It's a good thing because you get a lot of information. That's just how he is. When we're in the film room, on the field, off the field, he's an outgoing guy and he has a lot of energy, and we all appreciate that in the room.
Are you starting to feel comfortable with the offense where you can just play and not have to think too much?
Right. I mean, there's always installs. Like this week, we installed a bunch of plays, so it's always learning. But as Tuesday and Thursday go on, everything settles by Saturday, so you can go out there and have very clean practice.
How do you think this offense fits your skill set?
I think it fits well. They do a lot of things that I like. Some things are new to me that I'm looking for and was looking for. And it's good to be out there with a live defense and being able to see that versus watching it on film.
When you set goals for what you wanted to accomplish in spring, whether that be just the rate of which you get going, like how do you feel like you're getting close to maybe achieving some of those?
Right. I feel like I'm close. I mean, you're always striving to be better, but for me, it's just to not make the same mistake twice. Try to push myself to be better and better every day, and help my teammates grow around this offense in general.
You're 2 weeks away from the scrimmage game to end the spring where you get to play in front of some Illinois fans. What has kind of fan reaction been like since you've arrived on campus?
It's been cool. I mean, everything's kind of been on Twitter. I haven't really seen anybody in person. My first time, like you said, playing in front of Illinois fans. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see, the stadium with some people in it for the first time. So I'm ready for it. It's coming quick.
I guess as kind of a grad transfer, this year in college would kind of be it for you. How does that kind of change your sense of urgency in the off season?
I think it's the same thing, just going in and learning the offense and going through spring ball and trying to get the most out of every single practice because limited practices, you only get 15. It's not like during camp where you have a whole month to prepare. You get 15 practices to get the most out of it, learn from it, and be able to hit the ground running when camp comes.
How have you gone about, whether it be the offensive line or the wide receivers, just kind of building that chemistry here just to have a base before you get into the summer and fall?
A lot of it is communication, especially for me being new here, learning a lot of new faces. I tried to earn a lot of their trust in the weight room because that was the only way I could have done it then. And then when I got on the field, talking with conviction and helping just build that bond and trust. So when you communicate with them, you look each other in the eyes, you talk to each other, you believe what each other is saying, and then move from there.
We've heard from Brett and Barry that they want the quarterbacks, not just you, but everybody to step forward, step up in the pocket instead of roll wide. Has that been an adjustment for you, or is that something you've looked forward to having in an offense?
For sure, that's something that I'm definitely adjusting to, something that I'm constantly reminded every single day, and something that I believe I have gotten better at the past couple practices, something that I always think about all the time is stepping up in the pocket so that it's easier for the offensive line when they just flush everything out and roll up there.
When programs go out to the portal and grab a quarterback, especially a grad guy, there's pretty high expectations. Do you feel any of that pressure, or do the coaches do a good job keeping the pressure off of you?
Right. I mean, I put the most pressure on myself to be the best that I can be and push myself every single day. So, I mean, that's always something that I've had since I was younger, so that's nothing new to me. But, everybody's on everybody. Everybody knows what the expectations for this team are and what the potential of this team is and what it needs to be, whether that's coaches on players or players on players. I think that's been very well so far.
What's your perspective as a quarterback? Just you've had so many receivers in green this spring, and you've had to work with so many different dudes on that first team. Is there a mentality you like to bring to having new guys almost on a consistent basis?
I think it's good and bad. Obviously you want to be out there with the guys that you're potentially playing with, but I think it's good for young guys to have the opportunity to be able to step up, show what they can do. And for the quarterback position, whether it's me or anybody else that's there, you're able to be adjusted to those guys. You're not just specifically throwing with only one or two guys. You have a majority of guys who can come in and play, and you're ready for anybody that's out there.
So you're in the weight room. That's the only way you can build a kind of build that with these guys. What's that look like? Are you trying to go way extra? How did you kind of build that rapport?
No. You always just have to be yourself. Everybody's different. Everybody leads different. Everybody acts different. For me, like I'm pretty energetic in the weight room. Coming from New Jersey, there's Northeast. So, I mean, I guess it's similar here. There's a winter. It's not like we're in Florida where you can just be outside and run around and throw 24/7. So when the winter comes, you have to work out. So I'm kind of used to that. So when I go in there, I just try to have fun. Be myself and just push myself to the limits and just let other guys see that I'm pushing myself every single day to be the best I can be.
Tommy, you get a lot of feedback from Coach Lenny, or like daily, or is it constant? Tell me how that
Oh,
works.
constant. Whether it's in the film room or even if we're on there, he'll text. Obviously we have a quarterback group chat. He'll send a clip in there with him voiceover it, just if something else comes up. Coach Taylor Reed's also been helping a lot with all of that because Coach Lenny is as well the offense coordinator. So when the next group throw and he's calling the next plays for the next group, so we get insight from Coach T. Reed and. We just roll from there, but it's been constant information that we've been getting, and that's all you could ask for.
When it's critical, are you taking it well? I mean, is it some? Are you always been the guy that kind of learns from things you do wrong as much as things you do right?
Oh, 100%. You have to look them dead in the eye and absorb all the information. You have to be a sponge. Even guys in the NFL, you don't know everything. Nobody knows everything. So you have to take as much information in as you can and absorb it as you can and learn from it and put it on the field.
What can the fans expect this fall? Describe your play as a quarterback. Are you guys get out of the pocket a lot? Do you have running plays called for you? That kind of
No,
stuff?
I wouldn't say all that. We haven't gotten into like game plan things. We're still in spring ball, still baseline learning the offense, but it's gonna be exciting. I think we have a very explosive offense that is gonna be very, TNT oriented. There's a lot of weapons that can go. You can throw a little screen here and they can go the distance, and then obviously the run game with the offensive line, everybody, people coming back. I'm very excited, very excited.
Assuming you've gotten to know Isaiah pretty well, it seems like a nice weapon to have as a quarterback.
No doubt. I mean, that's a guy. So for me, when I first met him, everybody's talking about he's a quarterback, and I kind of had to go watch the films because everybody says they were a quarterback at some point in their career, but to be a quarterback at college level and then make that switch here, you have to be a special kind of athlete. So the more and more I look into it, he is that special athlete.
From a kid from Jersey, is there a Barry